welcome to my first show. My first guest is Rick Lilly.
How's it going?
He is a longtime friend of mine, has many talents, many amazing stories to tell, and what I'm doing with these is I'm getting interesting people from my life and putting them on video so you can see it, okay? So you can get to know these amazing people that I know, okay? So this is Rick Lilly.
Howdy.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Utah but raised in Texas. Grew up there till I was about 14, then moved back up here to Utah. And
What part of Texas?
I was in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Right, in Louisville, right outside of Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Fighting Farmers.
Yes, I was supposed to go to Louisville Fighting Farmer High School, but I did not make it. That's where I was supposed to go. I came up here and ended up going to school at Layton High.
So you lived in this general area for quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay. So now one thing I know about Rick, he has so many interesting stories. It's kind of hard to decide where to start. And so what I want to do is a little chronological storyline from him. Tell the story about growing up a little bit, and then something happened that kind of changed your life.
Gotcha.
So let's start with, back then.
Okay. Well, when I grew up in Texas. One of my favorite things to do in Texas was play soccer. I played soccer for 8.5 years, and I was a pretty good soccer player. We ended up, my team was called the Lakers, which is kind of funny because just down the road is a high school named the Lakers. But we went to the state championship, we went to the Gatorade Cup, we went to Dr. Pepper tournament, and we won them all. And the funny thing is we actually played a division higher than what we were. And I was ranked as the number 4 fullback in the state of Texas. So
Very nice.
it's pretty cool, at my age level, of course.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we did that, and then I found out when I was young, just right around after I stopped playing soccer, that I was going to not probably live past 15 years old if I didn't have a miracle happen to me, and that was have a kidney transplant. And the doctor actually asked me, he says, would you like to have a shot to get you better? And most people are like, they don't like shots. And for me it was like, yeah, give it to me, I want to be better. And he said, well, this shot is a kidney transplant. And I said, okay, so that means I have to wait? And he says, yeah. So we tested my mom first, and she said that, or they told her that she only had one working kidney. And we didn't know that. She didn't know that because she'd been working just fine on the one kidney. And so she wasn't able to donate, and she always thought she was going to. But then my dad got tested, and he was a really good match. He was 4 out of 6 antigens match. And so my dad and I, with our butts hanging out of our gowns there at the hospital, we ended up getting transplanted, and he went in first, and it was probably the scariest time of my life because I had no idea how he was doing before I went in. So they started his surgery first, and then halfway through they'd put me under. So the first thing I asked before I went under was, how's my dad doing? And they told me that he's doing just fine, and then I went off to La La Land and don't remember much until I woke up. And I was doing fine, but my dad wasn't. My dad wasn't doing very good at all because the pain control that he had was bad. And he had this, what do they call it, a spinal epidural, and they had it too high a level, and so it wasn't covering anything for his pain control. But that's where the funny part comes in. I have to tell you this, because after they finally got his pain under control, he had never been on pain medicine his whole life because he's a really healthy guy. And he all of a sudden the nurse gave him this big pile of meds, and that night all his alarms started going off, and I look over at his bed, and all of a sudden I see my dad's leg flip over the side rail, and he goes, I gotta get to Logan. And I'm like, why do you gotta get to Logan, Dad? And he says, there's a fire, I gotta get there, don't you hear the alarms? I'm like, Dad, it's you, chill out, man, I'll get the nurse. But that was the funniest story that I had for my dad's for the kidney transplant I had with my dad. that's starting there.
Yeah, that's a pretty funny story.
Yeah.
Okay. And your dad recovered from it just fine. I've
he's
met your
doing
dad. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's doing great.
And then you did really well for a while.
Yeah, I did. I had a 19-year valiant fight. My dad's kidney put up. So
That is awesome.
yeah, and in 2014, my cousin then gave me one. But we're skipping a whole bunch.
Yeah,
We got to get back. We're skipping way
Let's
too far
get
ahead,
back.
so we got to go back. So when I had after I had my kidney transplant, just after I graduated high school, and I was already working as a CNA, so the medical field was where I was going to go. Well, I have a whole bunch of stories from the medical field that I have to share.
Okay.
These are great. So first thing, I worked as an anesthesia tech for both LDS Hospital and McCady Hospital. And one of the best stories that I can remember, we were sitting in the ER, and we got this message to check out, or to go and get this lady off of a gurney to put her on another gurney. And she wasn't doing well. She was coming in with chest pain, and she was about 500 pounds, give or take. And we had to move her over onto this other gurney. We got her there, and we put her on the gurney, and I had to put in what's called an arterial line. And an arterial line measures your beat to beat, your blood pressure beat to beat, so we know before you do if you're going to have a problem.
Right.
So I'm trying to put this arterial line in. I've got her draped on her arm from here to here, and then the doctor has her draped from here to here. Okay? And the nurse comes in and she says she's got to put a blood pressure cuff on her because they were working on her other arm as well. And so she comes in underneath the drapes and puts the blood pressure cuff on, and I'm sitting here still trying to get the line because it was kind of like pushing through meringue. Her body was so big, and so I finally got it in, and I saw the blood flash up the tube, and I was like, okay, and I put it in and ripped back my drape, and this lady had been screaming at the top of her lungs that she had chest pain. Well, she had chest pain because they had put the blood pressure cuff on her bosom. We got a blood pressure off of it, believe it or not, of 64 over like 30. And we thought she was crashing. We thought she was going down.
So they put the cuff.
Yes, she was quite large, and they ended up the nurse, who was female, by the way,
Okay.
put the blood pressure cuff on her bosom. So that tells you this is just how we do it in the medical field. We are professionals. Okay. Well, that's only one of the stories. There's even better ones than that, believe it or not. Working in our OR, we have you guys count down from 10 to 0 when we're putting you to sleep. But that is...
No, I am disappointed because
Why?
I have had 2 surgeries now,
Yeah.
and they did not make me count backwards.
They didn't?
No, they just...
You might not remember it because they
No.
also give you another medication.
They talked to me and they said, do you have any questions? And I said, yeah, and I said something, and he said, well, you're just going to go to sleep now.
Really?
And he kept me talking.
That's probably because the word has gotten out that we like it for our entertainment, not for your
But
to calm you down.
I feel deprived.
You do?
I do. So for my next surgery,
Okay, well, yeah.
gotta make sure they do that.
Yeah, we have to punch our punch cards, right, for our surgeries? I'm at 32, thank you very much.
Too.
Yeah. So we do that for our entertainment as far as you counting down from 10 to 0. Because most of the time it's like 10, 9, 4, avocado.
Did you ever have anybody get all the way down and just say, well?
Yes, I have, and that was when we've had a problem with the line or something like that in their arm.
And so that's kind of dual purpose then. I mean, you do that
Yes.
just in case that does happen.
Yes, yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as the funny stories, the way they continue, we had this guy who started a joke when we were going down from 10 to 0. He started a joke and said, he's like, why'd the chicken cross the road? Well, when he woke up, he was kind of to get to the other side when he woke back up. Yeah.
Continuation of a sentence.
Continuation of his sentence right as he was coming back over. So that was one of those things that I'd never seen it ever again, but it was like the very next thing he said.
Nice.
A couple other funny things that happened. we've learned in the OR you have to be very careful not to play the wrong music, especially when you're putting someone to sleep.
Okay.
We were going in for heart surgery, and we were playing a song, "Don't Fear the Reaper," and so that's not a good one to play before
Not
heart surgery.
appropriate.
And then we had another one where they were playing AC/DC's. We had a brain surgery going on, and they were playing AC/DC's "Hole in the Head," which was probably not the greatest song to put on.
Okay.
So I have a couple more, but we probably need to go on.
It's fine. And, and that's the thing is I can edit all this out, and I can splice and
Okay,
do what I need to do. So
great.
if there's a story you want to tell it.
Okay.
If we decide later we don't want it, that's fine.
All right. Cool. Let me think of. Now I got to think of one.
Okay. Well, one thing about Rick, I've known him for quite some time now, and since I've met him, he has been in the hospital probably a third of the time I've known him, and what's cool is we invited him over to play Pathfinder with us, to roll dice with us, and he enjoys it. It's fun. We love having him there because he's a blast. One time he was in the hospital, and he was very upset because he wanted to come roll dice with us. And so he Skyped him. We Skyped him in.
Oh no.
And do you remember that?
I don't remember
You
that.
don't remember that. Of course you don't, because you were unconscious. He was Skyped in on us with us, rolling dice, playing the game with us. Very happy to be part of the group, being able to participate, and he would just doze off. And so we screen captured the Skype, and it's awesome.
I have another story about that, about being asleep.
Okay, go for it.
Well, my other friend, one of my other friends, Kyle, that I've known since, we were sophomores in high school. So I've known him for a long time. In fact, I still go to games and stuff with him, NFL games. But I was laying in bed after I had just had both my kidneys removed. Okay, not that sounds weird. How can you survive without kidneys? But I was on dialysis, so that makes sense. So they removed both my kidneys, and I was really sore from here to here. So they had me on a bunch of pain medicine. Well, he and his wife came into my room, and the first thing I said, "Hey Trina, thanks for coming. You're awesome. I can't believe you're here." And then I'd look back at Kyle and talk to him for a second, and then I turned back to Trina and go, "Trina, I didn't know you were here. Welcome, thank you for coming." And then I turned back and talked to him. Kyle said I must have done it like 4 times.
Very nice.
So, I mean, pin meds do some weird things to me.
Well, yeah, it does, and we'll get to another story of a similar thing than that.
Great.
When I was teaching the billiards class up at Weber State, Rick took my class. Then he had some complications. I don't remember what it was for, but had some complications, ended up in the hospital. So I went and saw him up at the hospital, took him some games, took him some movies, took him the 4400. Remember 4400?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he got to season 2, and his mom would come into the room and watch it with him. And pretty soon his mom was getting upset, and what did she tell you?
Do we have to watch this episode again? I didn't know that we had watched it, Mom.
He watched the same disc how many times?
I have no clue.
Many times, enough for his mother to complain.
That is hilarious.
That was pretty awesome. Good memory, So Rick has had complications, a lot of medical stuff. We say he has 9 lives.
Actually, we say something else.
Oh, what are we saying now?
Oh, no, I say I have 27.
Oh, you got 27.
Yes, because I have 9 of my own. I have a kidney from my dad, so I got 9 from him.
Okay.
And I have a kidney from my cousin, so I have 9 from her.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I have 27 lives.
So how many have you used so far?
Only 5, I think.
Okay, so we got some time.
Yeah, we got some time.
We got some time. One of the stories I love, and I want you to share this with them.
Okay.
is the story when you had your stroke.
Oh my gosh.
But all the things that led up to it.
Okay. So I was bowling in a league at the time, and I was bowling with Crystal Tracy. Might remember this. I'm pretty sure she'll watch this. But I was bowling in the league, and I was down at the very end of the lanes, and all I remember is I remember my right side feeling kind of weak. And one thing that was kind of strange is I actually brought my wife with me to bowl. I never bring her with me, but for some reason I brought her to bowl.
Mm.
And I was bowling, and then I started feeling kind of bad, and my right side kept getting weaker and weaker, and my face started to feel numb, and I had this horrible headache, and I just wanted to keep bowling. I was like, my wife's like, I think we ought to take you to the hospital. You don't look like you're doing so well. You're dragging your leg, and your arm's not. You're not even being able to hold the bowling ball up. I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm bowling until I'm done. I bowl. That's what I do. And she says, Rick, we got to take you. I said, no, I'm finishing. So I finished. I think it was 4 frames, or no, I think it might have been the whole last game. And I bowled a 221 while I was having a stroke. So I got really lucky, though, because I could have lost a lot of things if I had not gone into the hospital when I did.
See, and for my best game, and my best game ever is a 210. And so if I would have just been having a stroke, I could have done better.
Yes, that is the best. That's the best advice I can give you. Have a stroke and you'll bowl better.
There we go. But now, one thing I want you to talk about, though, is the things that led up to the stroke. Remember, you
Remind me a little bit.
okay, so you had the good luck with...
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. I
Yeah.
remember this. Okay.
That's what we're going to do, is we're going to splice this and put this before what you just told.
Okay. So, I was in Reno, Nevada. We were on a bowling trip. I was on a bowling trip with Weber State's bowling team. And I went in and we went into the hotel. And at the hotel there was a casino and everything. So, but at the hotel we got a free play of blackjack because I don't like to gamble. I don't like to use my own money to gamble or anything. So I was like, free play, might as well go use it. So after we got all set up, I went downstairs and I used my free play at blackjack. And lo and behold, blackjack, my first hand, so I doubled up. So I had $3. I got $3. And I took those $3 and I told my friend that was with me at the time, John, not this John, but another John, I told him that I'm just going to go. He said, no, don't leave. I was just going to go leave because I wanted to put that $3 in my pocket and just walk away. That's the most money I'd ever won on anything, right? And he says, no, just stay down with me. I'm going to play for a while. I was like, okay, I'll go put my $3 in the machine. So I went and put all $3 into one machine. And I pulled the thing and I ended up with $110. And I was like, whoa, cool. And I said, I'm going to leave. This is the best luck I've ever had. And he says, all right, go ahead. So I left. Yeah, I left with the $110 in my pocket. I was like, this is sweet, right? Well, one of the other bowlers was too young to bet, to go downstairs and bet. So he gave me his free play at blackjack. So the next night I went down again with this same John fellow and went to the same table and I just gave the guy my free play about blackjack. And lo and behold, I got blackjack first hand. So I doubled up. I got my $3. So I took my $3. I said, see, I won again. I'm leaving. I won. This is as lucky as I can ever be. I don't want to lose any money. I just want to stay. So he says, I don't want to stay. He says, come on, Rick, you got to stay. It's like, all right, I'll use the $3 that I just won. So again, I go to the very same Wheel of Fortune machine that I got the $110 with, right? So I put the $3 in and I pull and I go, I got $11. I'm like, yeah, $11. And I'm like, this is sweet. And he's like, I can't believe this. You are not that lucky. So he made me take the $11 slip that I got, because I had cashed out, the $11 slip. He says, you are going to lose this money. And I said, okay, whatever. So I go to the very same Wheel of Fortune machine. I put it in, the $11, I pull it, and again, $110. I was like, yes! And so I couldn't believe that. But that's not the end. It's not the end of the story. By any stretch of the imagination, this isn't the end of the story. We were going home, and as we were driving home, we stopped at a Winnemucca gas station, and I had 50 cents left over from my Arby's burger or whatever sandwich that I got, and they had a little casino in this gas station. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go play these quarters. So I put 50 cents in, pulled the thing, and I got $5. And John just happened to be in there with me, and he's like, you are going to play this. I want to watch you lose. And they just happened to have one Wheel of Fortune machine in this entire place. So I took the $5 voucher, and I put it inside the into the Wheel of Fortune machine, and I pulled the thing, ended up with $50. So I walked away with 400. Oh, there was, wait. 303. Was that right? Go ahead and tell me, and we'll edit it out.
So you got 110 plus 50,
220,
right?
270.
Yeah, 270.
$270 on 2 plays of blackjack, 6 pulls of the slot machine, and 50 cents of my own money. Not bad, right? Well, after this, I talked to John, the very same guy that I had been going to, and he says, "You are so lucky. Next week you're going to have a stroke." And luckily enough, I did. I had a stroke the very next week.
But you're forgetting one more stroke of luck you had that week before you had the stroke.
Okay, what's this?
You won that TV.
Well, oh yes, the TV from the TV from Sonic. Yes, I won the TV from Sonic.
So you won a big screen TV.
A 50-inch TV that I got from Sonic. Yeah.
Just
I can't
nothing
believe
but
that you
good
were
luck,
talking
isn't it?
about. Yeah, just another thing of luck, and they said that. Yeah, you're gonna have a stroke next week. Obviously, I did. So.
Yeah, it's not.
You didn't know this story. You didn't know the other story? Had
No,
I told you that? Oh, okay.
I knew all that.
I was gonna
No, I
say.
love that story. That's one of my favorite stories to tell about you. You know, because I'm that is such good luck stroke. It's pretty messed up. So one other thing that Rick does, because he's had the transplant, he is able to play in the transplant Olympics, and it's a big part of his life.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about that.
I not only do I bowl, but I bowling is my thing. Obviously, I bowl. I play basketball. I throw darts. I've played petanque, which is a sport that you've never heard of, and I've played lawn bowls, and I've medaled in every one of them, which is kind of interesting.
That's cool.
But what I have here on the table back here, I can bring these out. I don't know if you want to show them or.
I will just take a picture of them. So
Okay.
right now, these people are seeing them on the screen.
Oh, cool. Okay. I have medals from gold medals and silver medals from Australia in 2009. I have gold medals and silver medals from Sweden in 2011. In 2013, I have gold medal and silver medal, one from lawn bowls and one from bowling. And then in 2015, I have a silver medal from bowling. And in 2015, I got a gold
These are
medal
real.
in basketball. And I got a silver medal in bowling. So that tells you, those were around the world. So that was in Australia, Sweden, South Africa, Argentina, and Spain. And in August of this year, I go to the UK, and I can tell you that how well I did off there.
Okay. And which of these that are here are you most proud of?
The ones here, I think I'm most proud of the ones that are right now. Probably the ones that I did first, and that was in 2009 in Australia.
Okay.
Because I had no idea what kind of the competition I was looking at. I had the competition is really high in the World Games, not as high as in the it's not as high in the U.S. Games, but it's really high at the at the World Games.
Okay.
And I can tell you a really good story of why I think that is.
Okay. Hold that thought.
Okay.
He's going to come back to tell us the story. Right now, we're going to have a commercial, and in that commercial, you will get the keyword that you need to message me on Facebook. And if you are drawn, because I will take everybody that messages me and gives me that keyword, if you're drawn, you get the $10 certificate to Cafe Rio.
Nice.
So. Here's Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Giles with Ridgeline Realty. Thank you to all of you who voted us the Standard Examiner Best of Northern Utah #1 Real Estate Brokerage 2019. Today I wanted to just do a simple definition set, the difference between pre-qualified and pre-approved. A lot of people go to look at houses thinking, oh, I'm pre-qualified for a certain amount. A pre-qualification basically means that a lender has taken some general information and has put together a basic idea where they think, yeah, I could get you a home loan. So you're pre-qualified. Pre-approval means that you have selected a loan program. They've gone through all of the verification process. They have tax information, they have your employment verification done, Social Security, everything is taken care of so that when you go to look at a home with an agent, if you walk through the door and fall in love and that's going to be your new home, you're ready to make an offer. So when that offer is submitted, they can confidently tell your seller, so if you're selling, you're going to want to watch for this, and if you're buying, you can say, I am pre-approved. It means that you have everything ready, all your little ducks in a row, so that if your offer is accepted, you can immediately move forward with the contract process and buy your home. I wanted to also tell you today, bear with me here while I pick this up, I am giving this gift card away for those of you who are watching John's videos. Each week, what you're going to do is watch through, he's got some amazing people he's interviewed and prepared little shows for you. And I'm doing some giveaways because he's kind enough to let me run these little commercials. I will give you the keyword. What you want to do is not in the comment section of the Facebook post, send John a message through Facebook, or if you have a different app that'll connect you in. So a direct private message to John with the keyword of the day. Keyword today is equity. Thanks for watching and enjoy the show.
Okay, and now we're back. So be sure and use that keyword. Send it to me in a message on Facebook. Do not send it to me on my timeline. Send it to me in a personal message. Say the keyword and your name and address. I will draw it before the next show, and then I will mail that out to you. So what do we got?
Okay, so I was going to tell you a story about how I know that the levels are different as far as at the U.S. Games versus at the World Games.
Right.
Well, at the U.S. Games, I won a silver in badminton. Now you have to understand, I've played badminton as less than probably that many times. Okay, so I played badminton and won a silver medal at the U.S. Games.
Okay.
Well, at the World Games in Australia, I thought, well, I gotta go and play badminton. Obviously, I'm pretty good. So I go and I play badminton. Well, now, I didn't know that I would be playing against the Japanese Olympic gold medalist, or not gold medalist, the Olympic player, badminton player, I don't know what to call him, badmintoner, but the badminton player for the Japanese, and I played against him. He was about this tall, this tall, and I stand about 6 foot tall, and so I played against him, and it was like, seriously, this little itty bitty guy running all over the floor, and this big guy trying to hit the shuttlecock. I think I hit the shuttlecock a total of 6 times when I was playing, and that's 3 games against him. So that tells you how
So
good.
he kind of destroyed you.
Yes, but then this is the best part. You're missing out, because the Japanese media decided to take an interview with me.
Okay.
Now I couldn't understand what the heck they were saying because it was in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese. Well, it was like David versus Goliath. Those are the only 2 words that I understand, or 3 words that I understood was David versus Goliath. So I knew that I had been beaten, and beaten badly. So
Yeah.
don't play badminton at the World Games.
Yeah, I would never do it. Yeah.
The other ones that I'm really proud of, just because of I have a mark where I have my dad's kidney and then I have my cousin's kidney.
And we'll get to the cousin kidney in just a minute.
Okay, so my dad's kidney I had until 2014, so all the medals before 2014 I'm proud of because it came from my dad And I can tell you why I'm more proud, not more proud of those. I'm as proud of these as I am my cousins, but they really make me feel special because my dad gave me a blessing that I would have, my kidneys would become whole. And the way that happened was my dad gave me a kidney. So
Yeah.
that's one of those things that it makes me proud of doing this, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's kind of cool.
Okay. Then we fast forward a bit.
Yes.
Now, many hospital visits, worrying that I'm gonna, lose my friend.
I didn't take you into consideration. I apologize.
I know, that was rude of you. So, fast forward a little bit. It was back east somewhere, right?
I was in. Let's see. It was at the U.S. Games in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, that's right.
Yes.
So you were in a pool. Go ahead and tell us what happened.
Okay, so I was swimming. This time I decided to try my luck at swimming at the U.S. Games. And I was swimming the breaststroke. And I remember swimming 2 lengths of the pool and then coming up. And then I don't remember finishing the last 2 lengths, but they said I did. And after I got out of the pool, I didn't know where I was, and I was having a seizure. And this was one of those things where having a seizure, you don't remember most of the time when it happens. And I woke up in the hospital and saw my wife there. Now, my wife didn't come with me, but my cousin had. And so I saw my cousin first, then I saw my wife, and I was like, Emily, how did you get here to Cleveland? And then I was like, I need to go bowl. I'm late to go bowling. She says, that was 3 days ago, Rick. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that much time had passed. And the crazy part about this is it wasn't just a stroke. I had West Nile virus.
Yeah.
How do you get West Nile virus in the U.S.?
Well, you have a few cases in Utah almost every year.
Well, yeah, a few cases,
So
but
you
I just get lucky enough to
You
get
know,
it.
the slot machine.
Yeah,
The winning the TV.
it's catching up. Karma's catching up with me. Gotcha.
You are a very lucky man. Yeah, that was a crazy time because you were stuck there for a while because they couldn't transport you.
Yes, I was stuck there I was in the hospital for 22 days.
Yeah.
They couldn't transport me. In fact, after they told me I was well enough, my wife and my mom and dad came back and drove me from Cleveland, my wife and I, from Cleveland all the way home. And then as soon as I came here, I went to University of Utah Hospital, and they put me in for another 10 days, so a total of 33 days total.
Wow.
Yeah. Long time to be in the hospital.
Yeah.
I get bored fast.
Oh, I know. I only spent a few days, with my leg, and yeah, you get incredibly bored, incredibly restless. You just, yeah, it's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine a month.
Yeah.
But he spent multiple times in different places. He did go to one place that was really nice. What was that called? Legacy?
Legacy, yeah.
Legacy.
It's not
That
even
was
there
a
anymore.
nice place.
Yeah.
We brought the game stuff there a few times. I brought him some games, and then we went and rolled dice there a few times, and
Free drinks.
they let us have a room with, right outside the room was the drink machine. We were happy. We were filling up our Dr. Pepper cups constantly. A funny story of that. We're sitting at the table playing, we're rolling dice, and Rick is sitting there, and all of a sudden, he's trying to back up, and he goes, guys, I think I broke my finger. And he, instead of rolling forward and taking his finger out, he pulls his hand out and busts it up even worse.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, you don't remember a lot of things.
I was pretty out of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's had a rough time, but through it all, keeps a great attitude. Has an amazing family. Talk a little bit about your family.
I have the most amazing wife to start out. Emily has been godsend. She has been through everything that I've been through all 32 surgeries. She's been there right by my side. She has just been fantastic. I can't tell her how much I love her enough, and how amazing she is. I do have my daughter, Andalyn. She's a basketball player. I coached basketball for a little while there, and I'm still coaching basketball for Clearfield High. And she is now looking at playing basketball for Layton High, where I graduated from, which is pretty cool. My son is way into science, and that's what I taught at Clearfield High was science. And he loves robotics and anything that has to do with robotics. So he's probably going to be making money doing the robotics field somewhere. And then my youngest just still is in her own little world. She likes sparkles. And is just her own little girl. But I love her to death. I love all of them. They're just great. And I couldn't ask to be more blessed as far as having family and friends that I do.
And I love that because your family is great. Your wife is amazing. Your kids are cool. You also have a dog.
Oh my gosh, I got a dog. I don't know how long I've been saying this. So many dogs, so few recipes. But I had been saying that for a while. And I actually got a dog, and her name is Rosie. And she is my little trooper. Just runs around with me everywhere. And she's really cool because she's being trained to be a seizure dog. And anytime I have a seizure, she'll jump up on my lap before I have the seizure, and she'll lick me in the face to tell me, you're going to have a seizure. And now I know. It's kind of cool, so I get myself in a safe.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And she did help you a while back. How did she help you?
I'm not sure what you're referring to. She's helped me a lot.
I'm referring to you getting lost.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes, I got lost in my own backyard pretty much. We have, right behind our house, we have a church, and they have a large field. And it literally is right behind the fence, our back fence. And I walked over there to let her run around a little bit, and I didn't know how to get home. And she took me by the leash. I just said, "Go for it, Rosie, take me home." And she walked me around, right around around the block, kind of, and right into my front door, and I was able to get back in the house. And
That is awesome.
the latest thing, just to catch you up, I was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and that's the reason why I forgot how to get to my house. So that explains why she helped me do that.
Just another thing to add to your list.
Yeah, just another thing to add to my list. I've got this Rolodex that I just look up. What am I going to do today? Oh, there we go.
Because not only does he have all these problems going and stuff, you got those. Do you still have those pumps in your head?
I do. I have.
Yeah.
You can see him here.
He's got a couple pumps in his head.
Yeah, you can see him right there.
I'm kind of jealous. I don't have any pumps in my head.
Yeah, I got those. That was after my stroke and after I was playing basketball and ended up with a subdural hematoma.
Yeah.
And so they ended up putting a VP shunt in my head. And
There is never a dull moment with this man.
Heck no.
Ever.
I got to keep. The funny thing is I would never trade my life for anything. I love my life. I love my life.
And that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Because we like having you around.
Thank you.
We like having you come over, roll dice with us, play games with us. And, the times that you can make it, it's awesome.
Yes. It's been lately. It's been a little bit less.
Yeah, and it's understandable. And we all still love you anyway.
Thank you. Love you too.
All right. So this was Rick Lilly. Amazing man, one of my best friends, just an awesome guy. So this is the end of the first show. This has been Rick Lilly, and I really purposely chose him for my first show because I wanted to get interesting people. One of my goals is to get interesting people. I have a lot of very interesting people in my life, and so he's got some great stories, obviously. He's a blast to be around, fun guy. And so that's why I wanted him for my first show. So be sure and get that keyword sent to me in a message with your name and address. And after 1 week after this gets put on, I'll put this video up, and then 1 week later I will draw for who's going to win the Cafe Rio gift card. And so be sure and get the keyword, send me your name and address, and then I'll do a little video of me doing the drawing so that you can see that, you know, it's as legit as, you know, I will make it legit. Don't worry. Yeah. So thank y'all for watching. Please, if you would, like this, if you like it. If you like Rick, if you like me, and I suppose if you're watching, you like us both, I hope. Like the video. If you want to leave a comment, great. If you want to share the video, that would even be better. And that's it. That's the end of our first show, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have learned a lot about my friend Rick here, because he's amazing. And anything last words you want to say to the people?
I did get a punch card, so my neck surgery's free.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to end on that. See?